going on, guys? Welcome back. It's Tony K. This is Urban Girl Scout Media, and this is another episode of Living the Dream. Welcome back. Time for another episode. Time for one of the best things on the internet, right? It's called Living the Dream. I'm your host, Tony K. Dressed up extra nice today. We are going to have our first sponsor of the channel making a commercial today. Advertisement's going to be key, pulling in the revenue. Generally I wouldn't go this route first, but beggars can't be choosers. Either way around it, we're dressed up nice. Got our bow tie on, had to take the hat off, it kept sliding off. I'm excited for today. I'm really excited. So besides the advertisement, here's what we got on the slate today. First, we're going to talk about some news stories, of course. I got a few of them. A little bit more upbeat, I feel like, this time around than some of the last ones. No one big thought this time. Really because the only thing that I'm stuck on is kids going back to school, and I don't want to get into that whole thing with the pandemic today. I want to have some fun. We're going to talk about smoking turkey. That's right, we're going to smoke a turkey today. With Thanksgiving just a few months away and the holidays coming up quickly, a lot of people are going to be spending time with their families, so this seems like a good time to go through and show you guys one of the easiest things I've ever done in a smoker: turkey. I'm also going to do a Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3, not a review, not even an analysis or anything like that, no fun fact kind of video. Like, there will be a little bit of each, but really just my spin on it, and we'll just go from there. Of course, we got Crack a Pack. I want to start, though, of course, like we do every week, with news stories. So first, one of the best companies ever, Lego. They released a letter years and years ago. Actually, in the 70s, they were releasing this letter to parents, encouraging them to let boys and girls create with the Lego product, regardless of what they were trying to create. Let them use their imagination, whether it's boys trying to create things that girls would, or girls trying to create things that boys would, or anything in between. Just let them. Now, by today's standards, this is actually somewhat controversial, right? Because you're telling parents how to raise their kids. But I thought that in the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, even up to today, the good people at Lego have understood that creativity and imagination are really what children need more than structured rules and all this other bullshit that parents bring on at times. So I thought this was absolutely awesome and a great way to start this week's news segments. So up next, we got some images from the new Jurassic Park movie. They leaked online. I don't know. I'm a little hyped about this, if you guys can't tell. I love the movies. Even the newer ones aren't that bad, all things considered. And I love dinosaurs. This is one of the only franchises that does anything with these monsters, with these prehistoric animals, whatever the fuck you want to call them. This is the only franchise that really focuses on them out there, and I just want more. So I'm excited to see these images coming out, and hopefully this is just a sign of what's going to be a really great movie. Let's stay in the theme of movies, though, because not only is Jurassic Park getting worked on, but we also, within the past few weeks, got our first look at the new Space Jam jersey. And of course, because it's LeBron James, because it's the internet, because it's the modern day, we have to be so harsh on this dude. We have to say it's not going to be as good, because LeBron James is always going to be held up to the standard against Michael Jordan, and even in Space Jam, because yes, Michael Jordan was in Space Jam, we understand that. He's going to be held up to this impossible standard. Now, is the jersey a little different? Yeah, I'm not sure yet. But all we have is a jersey. We have a 3-second clip of LeBron walking up. That's it. I thought it was a pretty cool color design, all things considered. And I'm glad that they didn't go to the original jersey, because I think the internet would have been just as pissed off. But kudos to LeBron because he knew from the beginning this was going to be one of the toughest things he's ever done in his career. Not only does he have to work with co-stars like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, but he's still going to be a Michael Jordan shadow. And I'm a Bulls fan. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got Bulls stuff all up and down the wall here. But we got to give this guy a chance here. We got to give him a chance because I personally would rather have another Space Jam with LeBron James than no Space Jam at all. So finally, I want to talk about Magic the Gathering. Now, before anyone freaks out, make sure you look at this very carefully. It says, "Make Magic Great Again," because that's what I want to talk about. So Double Masters has come out, and there's been a ton of shit around this, and it's been kind of tough to deal with. To be honest, you're seeing people getting scammed. You're seeing people getting repacks, or there was the one dude who opened a couple of, like, what was it, M21 commons in the rare slot. Okay, in the rare slot. So I was a little disappointed. Now, within the taping of this video, I actually delayed this week's episode because we got the Commander Green set that's coming out, which looks fire. It looks fire. We also got a couple of secret layers. We got this Ooze and the dogs. I thought those were pretty okay overall. The Ooze, I thought the art was great. The slime Ooze ones, I thought the art was great. But where I really want to go today is Zendikar Rising, or whatever the hell we're going to be doing. You know, early morning, Zendikar, morning wood, whatever the hell, I don't know. So there's going to be a new type of pack. And it's really important to note that this new type of pack is going to have in that token advertisement slot, something like that, 1 in 4 of it is going to be a card from the list. Now, the list is about 300 cards from Magic's history that could be included here. And what's really interesting is that we got 3 cards this week from the list. Now, I really only care about 2 of them, although I think that this middle one, the Giant's pretty cool. But we got a Muscle Sliver from Tempest, we got the Giant from Lawrence, and then we got the Pact of Negation from a Master set. So to me, what the list is going to comprise of is older cards, like stuff from Tempest, smaller sets, like Lauren, Master sets. So that's a good start. It's also not going to shy away from popular creature types like Slivers. It's not going to shy away from popular and powerful spells like Pact of Negation. So with only 3 cards of this pool out, I feel good about what we're seeing so far. Does it mean that it could change either way based on what comes out? Of course. I have no clue what the hell they're going to do. But I really like this idea. I think that this is a cool new idea. The booster pack hopefully isn't too expensive, and hopefully this list is legitimate. Hopefully this list of cards is really good, and this isn't the reprint of Fetch Lands that we were promised. But overall, it does seem like between the secret layers, between this, and then some of the other things are going on in this Commander Green, it looks like things might actually be in an upswing. I mean, honestly, like, M21 was good, right? We can all agree on that. This was a really good core set. And then all the other good news I've listed here, they've had a few bumps in the road. Jumpstart's been pretty good. Historic is insanely good right now, guys. This is the time to be playing Magic. Get on and play Historic on Arena. This is certainly the time to do it because good card pool, really good bannings. Omnicat, mastered, remastered, whatever the hell they're calling it. Pretty much the Egyptian block has just been released under Arena as well. Magic has some actual good news going on, so we are making Magic the Gathering great again. This is nothing political, so please don't at me over it. I'm just a guy who wants the game I love to continue to be around for years and years and years and years and years. And of course, shameless Tony plug, but if you really love Magic the Gathering, remember I do a weekly article that I first post on Tumblr and then onto Facebook about Magic the Gathering. I call it the Mamba Market Watch, the weekly Market Watch, whatever you want to, Mamba Market Watch, whatever. Sorry, this is a longer take for me than I normally do. But with that article, pretty popular in my opinion, and it's got a lot of unique insight into things. Sometimes we talk prices, sometimes we talk themes. One of the upcoming articles is going to be based around tribal support, not just tribal cards, but the best ways to support them. So just some stuff to think about. But overall, it is time for me to admit Magic the Gathering is making some positive steps, and we owe it to them to be honest about that fact. Welcome to my smoker. You know, this week I wanted to talk about something that I really enjoyed, and that was making a turkey. That's right, a turkey. Smoked a turkey. It was good. So I wanted to, for a few minutes, just talk about it, because this was actually one of the simplest things I've ever done, especially when it comes to cooking. It might actually have been easier than that. So really what it comes down to is, and it's the same thing with the ham. So with Thanksgiving on the horizon, I really wanted to just take a moment and say, hey, smoke the food. If you have a traditional smoker like this, all you really need to do is get a turkey pan, get your turkey, of course, like a roasting pan, and find a good seasoning rub that you want to put on it. Brine the turkey as well, and then you just put it in the smoker and you just let it go to town. Now, the reason I don't have too many pictures is I was nervous to no end, because this was the biggest piece of meat that I was cooking, and I was also serving it as well. So I was a little nervous. The reviews were amazing. So it took about 10.5 hours, maybe 11, for it to smoke all the way. The meat was literally falling off the bone. Almost no effort to cut it. Flavor was great. And the extra work my wife put in with brining it the night before and trying a recipe with that even added to it. So we had the seasonings and whatnot in the brine. It was really good. I mean, it's a really simple experience. And I would say if you take out the 10 hours of cooking, if you just talk about the time that you're physically handling the turkey with brining, with putting the seasoning on, patting it on, and then even checking it, you're not talking about more than maybe a half hour. Maybe a little bit more, depending upon how fast you move. But that's it. So this was an incredibly easy recipe to get through, and it's the same thing with the ham. Neither one of them was incredibly hard. You figure out how you're going to hold it. You don't just put it on the rack. You don't just raw dog it like that. Make sure all the plastic's removed from the packaging, of course, because sometimes you'll have that little packaging in there that'll hold it in place, or with the turkey, the gizzards and the innards and whatnot. Season it up. There you go. As far as it goes with the ham, that we actually used the honey glaze packet that came with it, and sometimes they do come with those. It's not hard to find one online. I've done both from scratch and used a pre-packaged before. Not a big deal to me. And we just followed the recipe, ladled some of the juices on both meats. We did have to check on it, and unfortunately, you're opening the smoker and you're going to have to ladle some juices on, so you got to make a tough choice. Are you going to pull the meat out, or are you going to open it, ladle as quick as you can, and then just keep it in there while you're ladling it? I would prefer the second option, and I would suggest that as well. Anytime you're taking the meat in and out of your smoker just to work on it for a little bit like that, that's really dangerous. And I'm not even just talking about the dropping aspect. I'm just talking about the fact that you're just moving it around a lot. You don't want to do that unless you absolutely have to. Outside of that, the ham took a few hours, didn't take nearly as long as the turkey. The turkey, like I said, 10 to 11 hours, give or take. And that's what most recipes say it's going to take, so it's not like it took that extra. And just both were really good, really solid, no complaints. And I highly encourage, if you have the opportunity, don't do that deep fried turkey nonsense this Thanksgiving. Don't do the oven nonsense. If you have the opportunity to do it in a smoker, do it. It was easy, it was simple, it was delicious, and I cooked a turkey stress-free. I like that. So there you go, guys. I don't know what the next meats are going to be. I have no clue what I'm going to do. We are running out of meats to do in the smoker that I'm willing to invest in right now. Some of the other ones like brisket and stuff, yeah, that's got to be a more of a weekend project. But outside of that, I hope you guys are enjoying this and learning stuff. Everything in these videos ties together. The main thing that's changing is the meat. That's it.
And each meat you have to respect the different cook requirements. But other than that, you know, soaking your wood chips, getting the smoker up to the right temperature. Your seasonings might be a little bit different, but you're still using seasonings. You'll notice that we do not use sauces on this channel. Try absolutely to get away from that. I think seasonings are just better use, and I'll talk about that maybe next time. And then just the way you go about checking it, and I don't have to show you how to cut the food, and I certainly don't have to show you how to enjoy it. You guys do that already. I love doing this though, and I will always tell you there's no reason that we can't all enjoy great cooked food.
Well, I'm excited because today we're going to open some jump starts. We got 2 packs here that we're going to do, and I guess just doing it in 2 packs because that would be the deck we would have to play. So let's see what we got. So I think that the first one I opened was Reanimate, and I figured I'd do the other ones on camera. So here we go. Wizards? Wizards? Oh man! I don't know what's in the Wizards, so I know it's in like 2 of these. The old Baron. The old Baron. I really like these new lands that they're doing. These counter lands, those are pretty cool. Alright, so not much there for Baron, Tolarian. Not much there at all. I think that's kind of the good card there. I don't know what all the new cards are worth. Open this on camera here. Like I said, just know about a handful. Oh, that was a good, that's the money one. If I'm not mistaken, this has the guy. This has the guy. There he is. It's one of the money cards. So I really don't give a rip about the rest of this pack. Some good stuff in here, absolutely. But, yeah, the rest of this, I'm happy to have this bad boy right here. So there we go. Allura Shepherd. That's one of the chase cards of this set for sure. I think it's like one of the 2 or 3 most expensive cards in the set. So definitely happy. Couldn't care less. So if we were playing this deck, just in case there's those of you who are curious, we would be doing the Wizards and the Elves theme. Thanks, guys.
Alright, so here we go, guys. The moment of truth. I want to introduce somebody who is going to help sponsor the channel and take us into the next phase of Urban Girl Scout Media's greatness. His name is Bill Jepson. He runs a ammunition and gun warehouse. He also happens to be one of the largest retailers, actually probably the largest retailer of animal urine in the state. So without any further ado, let me show you guys just the first commercial here that Bill Jepson's Ammunition Warehouse has sent over for us.
Are you looking for a good selection of guns, archery supplies, ammunitions, body armors, bear traps, grenades, and the largest supply of animal urine in the state? Then come on down to Bill Jepson's Gun and Ammunition Warehouse.
I can help you hide in the trees if you are looking for the camouflage.
Are you tired of being told to wear a mask when you go into a facility? I don't make you. In fact, I will give you 2% off your purchase if you don't wear a mask.
You see, all my life I've been wanting to help people hunt. I've been wanting people to shoot. I've been wanting to help people take care of the animal problem in their local vicinity. And now here at my emporium, you can do that.
We are supplied with dozens of different animal urine brands, types, and sizes. Some people call me the Animal Pee-Pee King.
Don't go to the big box store. Come to my place. I'll cut you a deal. Will you tell that Tony to shut the fuck up then? If he don't like ammunition, he shouldn't have taken my fucking money. Oh, I'm not. Sorry, Tony. Sorry. So come on down, boys and girls, because I swear to you, you will love my selection, my emporium, my warehouse. It is the best place for you to come. I promise you that, boys and girls. I promise you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to end this commercial so I can go and hunt.
Alright, so thanks, Bill. Let's talk some video games. Now, let me set this next thing up here a bit. That's right, we're setting shit up now, guys. Every episode seems to change just a little bit, doesn't it? But anyways, let me get back to it. Fucking Bill Johnson. Okay, so Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 on the Super Nintendo, those are groundbreaking games. And in 2020, you know, we had this thing where some of us, you know, the pandemic basically put some of us working from home, some of us just stuck home, and I had a lot more free time because I wasn't driving as much. I didn't have the opportunity to go out and do things. It was also cold, so even getting outside to parks was hard at some points. So I went back and played video games that either I haven't beaten in a long time or never really got to see all the way through. Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 falls into that category for me. And I beat them relatively early in the year. Did not think that I was going to cover it here in this season of Living the Dream, but here we are. So without any further ado, I want to talk about just a great block of games, Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3.
So we are going to talk about video games for a little bit, and we are going to talk about one of the most impressive trilogy of games I think I've ever come across, the Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. Now, I couldn't pick between 1, 2, or 3, so this is just going to be a video encouraging you to play them all. Across this little clip today, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite aspects of these games, as well as a couple of just small fun facts, but there's not going to be a ton of new information here that you probably haven't found on other channels. One thing I am going to add to this, though, is what I believe makes this series so great and so fun, in my personal opinion. Let's start with the games themselves. Up first, we have good old Donkey Kong Country, released in 1994. This is the one that kicked it off, boys and girls. And while it's a little bit more basic than its next two to come out, this was an amazing game for so many different reasons. Level design was incredible and rare, in a lot of people's opinion, save Nintendo. It was followed up by Donkey Kong Country 2, which is by many considered to be the best follow-up or sequel game ever released. Even to this day, it is still in that list of the top. Donkey Kong Country 2 featured Diddy Kong and his little boo, Dixie. And they basically went on their own version of these quests. Donkey Kong Country 2 improved on a lot of the things that Donkey Kong Country 1 did well and took it to the next level, which of course made it almost impossible for Donkey Kong Country 3 to come out and be even productively as great as these other two games. Mainly because, well, how do you live up to that hype? However, nonetheless, Donkey Kong Country 3 came in and did exactly what it needed to do to solidify itself as also a top 10 seller, much like the previous two games in the series. They all three rank in the top 10 for sales within Super Nintendo's library. Now, across these games, guys, I'm going to be honest, the gameplay is consistently great. Level design is absolutely amazing, which is, I think, one of the first pieces I want to point out. The level design in these games was awesome. You had your main goal, and then there was a few other collectible or objective things that you could do, and this was one of the first games that really initiated not only that, but cutscenes. Donkey Kong Country was one of the first games to use cutscenes in its main story. Seems like a very small addition by today's standards, but in 1994, when the original was released, it was exactly that, a big deal. Now, another aspect that I think is very awesome about this series is the extra characters you get to be. On the screen, you see there's a few here that you get to play as and help you accomplish some of your missions. The longer you go into this series, actually the more characters you see. And in Donkey Kong Country 3, you actually do have several levels where you are exclusively those animals, and you have to use them to help defeat some of the level bad guys. So while playing these games, there is some fun facts that I wanted to share with you guys. First off is that the same company that made the Donkey Kong games is the same company that released the Killer Instinct games, and you can actually find in Donkey Kong Country 2 in the arcade scenes some references to Killer Instinct. Very cool, very, very cool indeed. Yeah, how do you not love that? Two of the best Super Nintendo franchises, Killer Instinct and Donkey Kong Country. Another pretty interesting aspect is the top 10 sellers list. Donkey Kong Country ranks as number 3. It's the first non-Mario related game. Donkey Kong Country ranks as number 6. And depending upon what sales you're following, Donkey Kong Country 3 has fallen somewhere between that 8, 9, and 10. The only games that really came out after these on this list was Super Mario World 2. In other words, the Donkey Kong Country games, all 3 of them, got to the top 10 in sales on the Super Nintendo after the other games that are on there, all but one, were released. They've made up a lot of ground quickly within that process. So, really, what I believe makes this series so great is that from start to finish, it's a consistently great game. There's over 100 levels between the 3 of these titles, and there's a lot of side stuff that you can do. There's plenty of in-game challenges, but it's so fun. The 3D graphics at the time, the way that the characters in the foreground are 3D versus the background being printed on, was very revolutionary. I think that had a big piece to do with it. I believe that the characters that help you along your way are also very important. But overall, the most important aspect is that this game is easy to pick up and start playing right away, and you can pick up a lot of momentum playing it. I felt like this game made it easy to get into the series, because as you go along in each one of these games respectively, it gets incredibly harder. So I felt like they gauged the skill level great. I feel like they did the reward of the game great. The story is good. The consistency in controls is good. The additional characters you get to help you are great. Overall, I think Donkey Kong Country, the series, Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 on the Super Nintendo, stand as some of the best games on that console, not just from a sales standpoint, but from an overall game flow and game design standpoint. Absolutely amazing, revolutionary in a lot of aspects. Truly, to me, this is one of the most important series and franchises ever. I love playing these, and even if you don't play these games in order, or even if you don't play all 3 of them, whatever that is, I think they're worth a play just on their own. If I had to rank them in terms of my favorite, I would go 2, 1, and then 3. But the difference between those in the ranking, not much.
There we go. We made it through another episode. Thank you guys so much. It's always a pleasure to see people watching this, or have people ask me questions about it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you next time.